Hey everybody, this episode is brought to you by Claude AI. Shout out to them. We thank them for sponsoring this episode. And now, on to the show. Okay, a man walks into a bar. He digs into his right pocket, and he pulls out a little man and puts him on the bar. He digs into his left pocket, and he pulls out a piano and sets it on the bar. Right away, the little man starts playing the piano beautifully. And the bartender says, "Wow, where did you get that from?" And the guy says, "Well, there's a genie down the street, and he's, granting wishes." So the bartender leaves, and when he comes back, he's surrounded by ducks. And he's like, "Hey, man, your genie sucks. I asked for $1 million, and he gave me 1,000,000 ducks." And the guy says, "Well, you don't think I asked for a 12-inch pianist, did you?"
Boom.
Nice.
There you go. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, we did it.
There it is. Thank you. Hit the button.
Nope. We killed it. There you go, Kate. There's your cold open, baby. There it is. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
Ooh, look at that. A lot of changing of intonation. It seemed like there's some change in the passion. I like that opening, man. So I'm gonna open very similarly. You like that? I said similarly. I like putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable. And I will say that I too am the host of the Make It Podcast. Welcome. It's good to have you here.
It is, and I've changed my facial hair for you. My face is naked. It is beardless, and I'm a guy who looks good in a beard. I look good. I'm like Daril over here. I look good in a beard. Yeah, so now you did get a comment on social media. Well, it was YouTube, and I think that counts. So the dude was like commenting. He called your chin like a flavor saver. What is that? He said there was a guy, Daril, that just commented on one of our videos. Said, "What about that guy? What about Nick's flavor saver?" I said, "What about it? Is there a question there? Is there a question?
I know.
Is there more?
It's
Can
highly
you expound?
inappropriate. That's just think about this. His comment was highly inappropriate and hilarious all at the same time. So I love it. I appreciate that, and thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah, keep it rocking. I just rubbed a lot of flavor right there. Per usual, on this podcasting journey is producer Papa Bear guiding us along the way, and our esteemed guest back for a second time, Daril Fannin. Daril, please say hello to everybody.
Hello, welcome. Thank you for having me back, I guess. Not welcome. Thank you so much for letting me join you guys. I'm stoked.
I'm stoked too, because you've had a lot of recent success and you're here to talk about it. We're here to celebrate it. But for those who don't know who you are, I'm just going to read a quick bio, if that's okay with you.
That'd be great.
So let's do it. Daril Fannin is the founder and CEO of Kino Studios, an executive producer, writer, and Army veteran, shout out to you, who has created and produced film and television projects for major studios, including Netflix and Disney. Combining Hollywood experience with a passion for innovation, he launched Kino, that's Kino, it's German for film, to help filmmakers protect, distribute, and monetize their work while building a more efficient and equitable future for independent storytelling. I love that. I know you do too, Nick and Papa Bear. Most recently, Daril was at the helm of the film Undertone that first gained attention at the Fantasia International Film Festival, generating early genre buzz before being acquired. Here we go. Whoop. Drum roll.
Let's say it.
Can we get a drum roll?
Yeah, you can push the button. I know you got a drum roll.
There it is. Before being acquired by A24. So congratulations to you, my friend. That is huge news. That is worthy of of coming back. I should just mention that A24 brought the film to Sundance Film Festival, and that sort of always builds more momentum within sort of the horror space and the indie space. It's still, indie film's best festival, and the international trajectory reflects Kino's growing presence within the global marketplace. Congrats to you, my friend, and welcome back to the show.
Thank you. I sound so cool when you say it like that, dude.
Man. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, we're not making stuff up here, guys. This is all the truth. So you sound good with the truth, my friend.
That you're gonna make me cry, man. That's amazing. I feel like, selling the A24 is one of the luckiest things. I think it's, it was the dream for us. And many probably thought it was a pipe dream. And I feel so grateful. And I just want to say shout out to Ian, our director, because he called it, dude. He felt it in his bones. And that man is connected to a higher power or a darker force. I'm not sure which.
Maybe both.
Maybe
shout
both.
Out to you, Ian. Yeah, shout out to Ian. And I think in a lot of ways, and this is no exaggeration, no sort of laying it on thick. That is like what you've accomplished is essentially the dream of like most indie filmmakers today, which is to make a film, to be part of a film that gets acquired by A24, which to me is a marketing and distribution powerhouse that I think is sort of the envy of every large studio, and every young person, I don't even want to put an age on it, but every film loving person recognizes A24 as one of the small handful, of companies that really know how to position film, really know how to earn box office from the way they market and distribute film, and they are a high taste distributor and buyer of film. So if your film gets bought by A24, I think the general consensus is like, it's a great film because A24 has such great taste.
No, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I think they are incredible. The thing that you said that really resonated with me is they had done such a great job of promoting our film. This was a tiny little movie. Like this film had no business being in 2,500 theaters in today's market from most people's perspective. And they knew that they had something, and they put the full weight of their marketing team behind it. And they did things that were truly authentic to the film that I really loved. Like, we were dropping content at the witching hour at 3 a.m. consistently, which is such a strong theme of the film. And those little details, I think, went such a long way. Most of our strategy was digital. We were really, making waves in terms of the noise that we were getting across Instagram and TikTok. And I think word of mouth is still the way to go. And they knew how to generate that conversation, and they did such an incredible job with the rollout. And again, I feel so very fortunate to have been a part of this journey and to have worked with them.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Chris, I think I think the big studios are like Jack Nicholson's Joker, and A24 is like Michael Keaton's Batman. And they're over there like, where do they get these wonderful toys?
Yeah.
Wait, how are they doing this? How were they? And because it's like Daril said, it's like they live with the content. They become part of the story. They live with the creators. It isn't just something they're selling, right? It's not like, let's just hire the marketing company and use the weight of intellectual property to sell a bunch of seats, right? It's like, no, we actually want things that people are going to enjoy, not just pay to see. And we want things that people are going to enjoy and tell their friends about it. So our goal isn't necessarily to get everybody in the seat on day one. It's getting the right people in the seats on day one, so they tell their friends for day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in theater 2,500. So that's how I see it, and that's why I think we all love A24 for that.
Yeah, dude. They released our film on Friday the 13th. So I was in Austin, actually.
Nice.
I was there for South by, and on Friday the 13th went out with a bunch of friends and got to watch this movie. I watched it on Slaughter Lane or Slaughter Drive, whatever it is, the Alamo Draft House there. And then when I walked out, the craziest thing, I even took a screenshot. I'll have to find it, but I took a screenshot because my credit card bill, when I finished it, the credit card total was $666.
No,
I'm not even. Hold on, I'm gonna find this.
Wow,
it was such an insane thing. I was like, yeah, I don't know if you can see this.
For those just listening, Daril is pulling up his digital receipt, and it is true. His receipt is $666.00.
I was like, I am possessed by Abazoo right now. It freaked me out, dude. I was like, I don't know. And this, again, back to Ian being in connect with this supernatural thing. It was wild. And we had an incredible opening weekend. I think we did, we did over $9 million on a $500,000 budget film for our opening weekend. And I'm still pinching myself. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Okay, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that concept later in the conversation about budget.
Yeah,
and box office, because there does have to be some reality checking. I think that happens just for the sake of the indie filmmaker, so they have the right idea going into some of these things. But I'm trying to remember the name of the Papa Bear. Will you look up the Zendaya movie that came out? She was starring with Robert Pattinson.
The drama?
The drama.
Yeah.
My dude, yeah.
So take that movie, for example.
Thanks, Daril.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. Take that movie, for example, okay? One of the things I learned in college was that the most powerful marketing you can get is word of mouth. It's considered the holy grail. And so what A24, I'd say Neon does that, Blumhouse does it. It's just proof that if you look across the landscape, there is abundance, there's space for everybody. Because if you look at Neon, A24, Village Roadshow, the new Orion, Blumhouse, they all manufacture word of mouth differently. And they all have a different vibe. They make different choices. So don't get discouraged. There's no space for you guys. There's space for everybody to do something a little bit differently. But the drama really didn't open very well. And then people went to go watch it. And then it started making money because of that word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of thing that happens when you have a great taste choice. Mm-hmm. And then people start talking, okay. And what happened there is they took a big risk on marketing, right? They didn't show you any of the movie, so you thought the movie was about one thing and it was about something else. It was
such. I've never been rugged in the best way, because I've been to movies where I thought I was going to see something, and then I was like, "What the is this?" And then it's
one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yeah. I thought it was incredible. I think the way that the pacing of that film, that is a masterclass in how to tell a story and keep rapt attention. I think the editing style was so very unique and it shifted in so many ways. But I sat down and I thought I was seeing one thing, and then the story that I got was better than expected. It was better than promised, and I don't know how often that happens as well.
Yeah, true.
Truly an incredible film.
Yeah, but guys, my favorite part, Chris, about this whole, my favorite part about this whole conversation is just the way that Chris says Zendaya's name. He always it's crazy because I was thinking about this the other day. You always put an H in there that doesn't exist. I'm like, her name is not Zendaya.
I think it is Zendaya.
Zendaya.
It's Zendaya.
Yeah,
it's Zendaya. But for me, she's Zendaya.
Exactly. I think because it's like Kevin Hart says, right? Back in the day when he was coming out, he's like, say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? And when you say something with your chest, you got to get that in there. So Chris is like, Zendaya.
Listen, my mom used to always say I'm like 1% Cherokee, so I got to put that ha at the end.
You're right.
Okay, like my people. You see? I don't know if that's true. Daril, I don't know if that's true. That's just something black people say. That comes from Reconstruction.
You know,
more marrying Native Americans.
If your cheekbones, if you can see your cheekbones, you got to have Cherokee in your family.
High cheekbones. You got some. Well, you got some Native American.
That's right.
You got some Cherokee in you.
I feel like the ha thing reminds me of my Pentecostal childhood upbringing. You know, and the Lord said ha. You know, that was very much indeed ha.
Yep, exactly.
I don't know if you just gave Daril nightmares or what. You know,
yeah. I like it. He sounded a little bit like Dick Gregory for a second there too.
Exactly. I was going to say that, Chris. That's the next to Dick Gregory.
Yeah, that's very good. So tell everybody like what's next for Undertone. Like what's happening next,
dude? On well, I don't know if this will have happened when this releases yet or not, but on June 26th, we are going to be on HBO, and we're getting our release there. So we are stoked about that.
Put that on the screen, Kate.
Say that again.
And the timing.
No,
he does that. He talks to editor Kate and just doesn't let people know that he's doing that. So then people are like, wait, what? I'm not Kate, bro. I'm Nick. What are you talking about?
She's not even here.
No. But the timing might be perfect. Chris, timing might be perfect. You hear that? The 26th?
It will be. June 26th. I love that. I think the timing could absolutely be perfect based on when this thing is going to drop, Daril. So that's again, the 666 or whatever you want to call it working for you. It just it's all lining up because I think the people are going to be able to like watch this episode and then go watch your movie the same
Dude,
day.
It's crazy because that is literally the date that it will drop. Like, just so you know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's again, Abazoo, man. I'm telling you, this Ian, whatever possessed Ian has now possessed all of us. I'm convinced.
This is great. I can't wait to watch it. And before we go into audience polls, I do want to just ask, this journey you've been on with Kino has been. And we just know, like off camera, we follow you on social. You know, our first conversation, you talked about this. And guys, if you want to watch it, please go back. Just search for Daril Fannin's name, and he'll come right up. Great episode. And there has to be these ups and downs. So I'm just curious, was there any moments where you lost faith? And how did you get through it? How do you, just for the audience sake, for those struggling to make films right now, how did you get yourself through that?
Yeah, I think that is a great question. And I think transparently, I think that there are as many of those epic losses as there are wins, and likely many, 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 many more throughout my career. And I think that the thing that I don't know how to quantify, but there's this thing within me that is ultimately resilient. And I just feel like if you are going to be an artist, you are on the journey of bouncing back. It is not a rocket ship where you are suddenly propelled into greatness and into the limelight. It is a series. You are a tennis ball and you are bouncing back up over and over and over again. And I think, I think there were early on in my career a lot more of these kind of like devastating, this is it, my career's over. In fact, I will never forget on the first show that we made, at one point the line producer came out and was yelling at everybody saying, this is going to be the end of all of your careers. And I was like, how is that helpful? You know, we're trying to solve a problem here. But, you know, we were all under a lot of stress. But I think there's always a moment where you're like, oh shit, I don't know if this is going to go the way that we think it is. And then usually after that, you'll catch a break. and if not, you'll grind it out until you do. And I think that's the thing. I feel fortunate that I've been in the industry long enough that as the negativity comes in, I recognize this is just another obstacle, another hurdle to overcome in the very, very long journey, which I don't know if that directly answers your question or not, but
no, it does. But Chris, we're gonna play a little game here because I'm trying to figure out how connected all this crap is. So we were talking earlier. Chris was asking me about this book, right? So it's The Creative Act: A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, right?
Nick is holding the Rick Rubin book, The Creative Act.
So I'm gonna try to do this right, where I'm just kind of like flipping. I'm gonna grab. Okay, I just opened it up. and I want to see, what this thing says. Like, just take the book. I told Chris, like, you could take this at any point in time and open it, and it'll just have a moment, right? That you'll be like, dang, I connect with that. And I want to see if this connects with you. It's literally just open it up.
Just playing a little game of chance.
And I don't know if this makes
the literature version of the Magic 8 Ball that you can.
But I'm gonna say it opened up to page
stores across the nation.
It opened up to page 303.
Okay.
Right. So I don't know.
303 is weird.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
It says sometimes it can be the most ordinary moment that creates an extraordinary piece of art.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel good. I feel like I went and got my palm read, and the palm reader basically just tells you what you want to hear a little bit. Or maybe I opened up Gemini or something. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I want to see,
because Claude doesn't do that.
How does that connect with you? Again, sometimes it can
read
be
it again,
the most ordinary moment that creates an extraordinary piece of art.
I love it.
Yeah. I feel like Rick Rubin, that book, I cried multiple times when reading that book. I'm not joking. Like, I was having some dark days in my creative journey. And that book, really, and I actually just gave it to one of our investors, who is very much a creative at heart and has been, I feel like, stifling that a little bit. And I just gave that book to him right after Cannes. So I'm a big fan.
Daril, what are we talking about here? I have the book right there. I just so you know, I had a different book.
Now that's the connection. That's the connection.
Book there tonight for this conversation.
Daril, I noticed it right away because the book he had there before, shout out to our friend Kevin Getz, was this book.
Yeah.
And now he switched the book. I'm not kidding. He switched the book just tonight, Daril.
That's insane. And obviously for those listening, we haven't talked about this. Like, that is the most random circumstance, and I love it. Look, these synchronicities, like, and there's this line actually in Undertone that's kind of talking about this, where Nina Kiri, who's the lead actor, is listening, and there's these things that happen, and she's trying to explain away the craziness, and she's like, coincidences, like, they're interesting because that's what they are, and she's so anti this thing, and I, on the other hand, I see coincidences as little bits of magic, and
like the universe abiding, right?
Yeah, it is, and that's it, and that's why I pointed to it. It's like, now I was a believer already, bro. Like, I already believed you when you showed us the receipt and you said all the things. I was already a believer, but then it was like, well, let me talk about this thing. I'm in. I'm 2 feet in, Daril.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous, Nick. And I talk to people walking this walk every day, and there's a poem that I love to go to by Rilke, that basically just says, don't frighten people with your ambition, right? Like, you can't, like, just go on your walk. You're going to have to go alone, because they're not going to understand. So all you're going to do is scare them, and all they're going to have is negativity for you that kind of is shrouded as advice, right? Or as a taste of pragmatism, or whatever the thing that they think they understand that they really can't understand, and so they can't take that with you. I really recommend that poem to anybody, and I'll have to put the name of it in the show notes, because I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I have it like where I can find it in my notes at any point. And I just had a call yesterday, PB. Hour-and-a-half conversation, creative I've known for a long time. I won't say any names. And he's like, man, how do you get negative people out of your life? Like, what's the strategy? Because, like, he has family members that basically told him, if you were good enough, you'd be famous already. And it's like, God damn, that is a hard thing to hear from family. You know what I mean? Like that's not good.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need, like, and what I thought of right away is the Rilke poem. Like, hey, don't talk to them about this stuff. They don't understand what you're doing. You can't take them with you.
the artist's journey is the hero's journey, right? And the people from the ordinary world are not expecting anyone to be able to survive in the upside down. And I think the call to safety is something that we all kind of battle with, and I think that's really actually poignant, and it's really tough when you don't have the support of your loved ones. And the thing is, you're either crazy or you're right. And sometimes it's both, which I think is my case.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that's great. There's a book, Chris, that I saw it many moons ago, and independent creative, and it was like the crossroads between should and must.
Yeah.
just that. Like even if you don't read the book, just that.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, I think, Daril, when you said that, like, you have the call to safety, but as the hero's journey, it's the call to adventure. So, I should be safe, but I must adventure. So how do you move forward with the adventure when you have all of these people who are calling you back to safety, either in a negative way? Because I think that's what some people do. They'll do that negative thing. Like, you would be famous already, so why don't you be safe? Focus on that. So it's not negative that they dislike you, is that they don't understand the must part of the adventure.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would say the real thing to me for those naysayers is, like, I think there are a lot of people who convolute talent with success. And those things do not directly correlate. And I'm sitting here as a success, and I don't know if I'm that great of a talent. You know what I mean? Like I think that there are so many brilliant filmmakers that I know and I get to interact with, and I feel so very fortunate that I was ready and I had the opportunity and I was ready when that came, and we were a part of this. But I think the thing that you have to do is keep swinging. Like, you're never going to hit a home run if you put down the bat. And I'm not a sports guy, so that's as close to a sports analogy as I'm gonna get.
No, dude, I've always said the same thing. What is it? You will never score 100% of the shots you don't take. Soccer player, right? You got to shoot, bro. You just got to shoot. You got to keep shooting.
Right. Absolutely. And Daril, thank you for being so straightforward and sincere with that answer. That's a great way to wrap up Story is King. And now I hand it off to my partner in podcasting, Nick. Can you drop some audience polls on us?
Well, yes, I shall. And I've got one for today. And I think this was interesting because I was also doing a little bit of research on A24 and some of the critical reviews and how they fare with certain things. So let me get into it. So the audience poll for today is, how much does Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic influence your summer movie choices? We got three options. Okay, so option one is a lot. I won't see a rotten film. Option number two, a little. I make my own choices.
Right there. It's confusing, right, PB? Anyway, go ahead.
Right. And number three, I'm going to say none. Critics hate the movies I like. Okay? So those are our three options. So a lot, a little, none. So I'll go.
A little, none.
Yeah. So I'll go in reverse order. Right. So we've got a lot, 13%. A little, 32%. None. Critics hate the movies I like, 56%.
Wow.
Okay, so basically they're just like, 56% of the audience says, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic doesn't influence what I watch. I'm good, bro.
Okay, Daril, you first, then Nick, you second, and me and Papa will chime in last. But what do you think? Do you agree with the people, Daril?
Yeah, what's crazy is I always check the Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't think I've ever let that affect my my decision. I'm curious what the world thinks, but I also believe in informing my own opinions. So I think I'm in the majority here. And it's not that I don't think that critics love some of the movies that I love. So that's the piece where I'd put a little asterisk here and say, it's not necessarily about the critics, but what I recognize is that what's going to speak to me, what's going to speak to Papa Bear and Nick and Chris, we might have very different opinions, tastes. My upbringing's weird as shit, man. If you're not, Undertone spoke to me because of that crazy religious thing that sat underneath it, and then you're dealing with death, and if you haven't had those lived experiences, I know so many people who are like, I don't believe in ghosts. I don't find any of that shit scary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, to have that personality, where you're not looking over your shoulder. Yeah. So
I also think too, like, even if you're not scared of ghosts, like if you're watching a horror film, and we've done a few horror films, right, Nick? And like, you still can like the story. Like the story can be great and make up for the fact that you're not going to be afraid of ghosts. Anyway, Nick, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking about this poll? You agree with the people?
It's an interesting one. So yes, I agree a little, right? So I agree because I'm in the same camp where I'm not checking for that. There was a time.
You don't really like horror films, right? Like,
well, horror films, but I'm just saying the critics really is more like, okay, I'm not looking for the critics because I never have, right? I'm me. I'm gonna watch what I'm gonna watch. I like what I like. I've never been that way, right? But here's the thing: the weird thing about this poll is specifically about A24. Because I was looking at it, I asked the question, right? I'm like trying to find out what about A24, and it's like a large percentage of A24's most celebrated films score 90% plus on the tomato meter. In 2019, Rotten Tomatoes noted that
it's all just so silly, right? The tomato meter.
Listen. 28 of A24's first 77 releases had achieved 90% or higher. Many of A24's most acclaimed films score in the 95 to 100% range. So,
damn.
When I look at that and I look at the, our poll, we're saying, nah, I'm not listening to critics. They don't like what I like. I mean, is that really true? You know what I'm saying? Like, we like all the A24 stuff, and A24 is doing fantastic with the critics. So
there's a good chance that that the movie you like, the critics liked as well. We have, me and you, Nick, we have a very good publicist friend of ours that sort of ruined Rotten Tomatoes for me, maybe not for you, but where she kind of, and this is definitely no shade to A24. I'm not saying they're doing this at all, but she's like, yeah, you can buy a review from Rotten Tomatoes. You can buy positive reviews from them. And I'm like, yo, I'm not going to say her name, but like, I'm like, really? She goes, oh, confirmed. I'm like, okay. So is it just like anything else where it's kind of a game that you play? And, I've always been a big Metacritic guy, like where they're aggregating and scoring. Now you could say, well, how is Metacritic scoring and aggregating these? Like, how are they assigning a score to a review? I think that's always been the problem with Metacritic, right? Like, why was that review a 90 and the other one a 100 and this one a 50, and then you aggregate the score? But in general, within a range, you can say this is favorably, like critics are favorable to this film or not favorable to this film or whatever else. And I do, so shout out to Metacritic. I think they do a really interesting thing that's a little bit better than the IMDb review for sure. And then, competes pretty well with Rotten Tomatoes. But I think Rotten Tomatoes, what they've done is they've mastered distribution.
Yeah.
So they make it so much easier for everybody to find their review. Yeah. It's not difficult. Like, you can just go get the Rotten Tomato review. It's everywhere, and it just shows that they run their business well and they spent money in the right places so that people can just find it. Like, it's easier than Letterboxd, right? Like, it's the easiest review to get. And
but here, Chris, here's my last point on this is that these days, I'm wondering, like, are critics old people? The reason,
not on Letterboxd.
Listen.
They're young on Letterboxd.
The reason I'm asking is because, like, well, how do you critique a film these days? Don't you have to write something? Young people don't write. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I ask my kid, I'm going to ask my kids for real, like, do you know a critic? Do you know the name of a critic? Like, we used to know the names of critics, is my point.
Yeah, man.
And we trusted them because they were older than us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were like, oh, they're worldly. They've seen a bunch of films. They've been part of the industry. Like, I get that. But now, do we have the respect to the kids? The kids, man, the kids. Do the kids have a respect for critics? Or are they like, look, nah, they don't know what I like. They're not me. I can't connect with them. What do you think, Daril?
You know what? I don't know if it's critics. Where I think they do this is through influencers, right? Like when I think about the people, it's still the word of mouth game, right? Like that's what the original film critic was a written word of mouth reference that you could get. And I do think with the buying of opinions, which is a thing, I think that we really lost that. And so then what I think is the modern version of that is the film influencers. And there are people who, Cinema Joe, like, I believe if he loves a film, I believe he likes it. I don't think he's a sellout. And I think that's part of the reason that he's got a following. And I would say that, so I think the modern version of that is an influencer, and to be a guy who gets paid to just watch movies and give an opinion. You know what I mean? Like that's the dream gig.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I think there's a guy on X named Lon. I think his name's Lon Harris. Maybe I can't remember his last name, but he if I find it, I'll give it to Kate and we'll throw it on screen. But he does a lot of great movie reviews. And who's the guy who took over for Siskel and Ebert? Who's still he's like the most famous reviewer in the world to me, critic, I should say. And I have and I hate that I'm forgetting his name. I'm literally seeing his face right now in his glasses, and I have a lot of respect for him. I have PB. Maybe you can find that. I have a lot of
Chris. What about that other guy? What about the other guy? He does this thing called Film Brief.
Oh yeah, Nick Bugs.
Yeah,
dropping Film Brief. One of my favorite movie review podcast series. Everybody should check out Film Brief. Nick does those, writes those. They're incredible. Yeah. They're incredible.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
And you'll love it. I will say this to end out this audience polls. I'll say this. I disagree with the poll because I tend to watch movies that critics like. And I think the reason why is because I'm a journalism major. I care about writing. And I know what goes into being a film critic. So before you can even be a respected film critic, your film history chops have to be impeccable, on point, right? The second a critic gets called out for not knowing a thing he's or she is critiquing, their career's over. Like the pressure is enormous. So when a critic puts a real critic, like there's Travers, who people say, okay, is he really doing the critical intellectual thing? Maybe, maybe not. But he's made a whole big career, right, with Rolling Stone doing this. But in general, when they put the time into doing a concise and fair and balanced critique, that is just like a gift, man. Even if it's a bad review for the film, if it's done tastefully and fairly, with great writing and research on top of that, hey man, that's pretty good. It's a lot better than this sort of race to the bottom that we have now with influencers and social media and things like that. So yeah, if a critic puts the time in and says this is good, I'm pretty likely to watch it, to be honest with myself about it. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, that's a good audience poll, Nick. I appreciate it. Thank you to the YouTube subscribers for voting on the poll. Can't do the polls without the votes. So take this moment to honor and pay homage. Honor and pay homage to
our sponsors.
Okay, we got to do it. We'll be right back with the show in just a minute. Hang tight. Hey everybody, this episode is sponsored by Anthropic, the makers of Claude Pro. And let me just tell you firsthand, running a small business is no joke and requires all hands on deck. That's me, that's Nick, that's Papa Bear, that's even our interns like intern Miguel, that's editor Kate. Everybody's got to throw their hands in to make things work. And I am super thankful, and I know the rest of the team is thankful, that we have Claude AI as one of those hands as well. It's brilliant. Nothing eats more time, for example, than administrative work in and around content creation and social media management. Now with Claude AI, it's a breeze. We have put out hundreds of posts now using Claude AI and co-work. It's been wonderful, right? You teach it your brand voice, you prompt it, you walk away. It's been amazing, right? Claude is the AI for minds that don't stop at good enough. And it's the collaborator that actually understands your entire workflow and thinks with you rather than doing everything for you, right? So it doesn't replace you, it thinks with you. So whether you're doing something like debugging code at midnight or strategizing your next business move, Claude extends your thinking to tackle the problems that matter. Now, we use Claude AI for the tedious jobs we don't want to do, all the way to the complex work we have to do. And look, like I said before, it just works. Doesn't skip steps, remembers what we like, rolls back to square one if needed. And that is so key. It never just takes in action you don't want it to take. That's one of my favorite things about it. It's really sure that you get the output that you want, the quality that you want, right? I've been using, as I mentioned before, Cowork brings Claude Code's agentic power to your desktop, so there's no terminal required, and anyone can use it and have Claude to do real work. Point it to a folder on your computer and add connectors like Google Drive and Gmail. This is really powerful, by the way. Describe what you need, and it handles the rest, like organizing files, which I've talked about before, building spreadsheets, drafting reports from scattered notes, right? You can queue up tasks and come back to finish work. That's one of the things I love about the new dispatch feature, right? Give it a task from your phone, and then you come back to your desktop and the work is done, okay? So for problems worth solving, get started with Claude at claudeai.com/make-it. That's claudeai.com/make-it. And check out Claude Pro, which includes access to all of the features I mentioned in this read. One more time, that's claude.ai/make-it. And now, back to the show. And we're back to the show. Shout out to Anthropic for being like the best sponsor ever with us for the entirety of 2026. Just a dope company doing dope things. And there is some confusion out there, Nick. There is some confusion. So it's been at least 10 people, listeners, followers, subscribers, people in our community, in our circle. They are confused. They are saying things like, how can you talk about making movies without AI and then be sponsored by an AI company?
Whatever, man. Don't do that. No, don't do that.
I'm like, that's not the same thing at all. Like we, this happens all the time, right? Like you can understand why it can be useful over here while also doing something different creatively over here. Like you might use it to organize your files, but not use it to, act or be like a fake actor in your, like that just doesn't, that's not good filmmaking in general. Yeah, so I just want people to understand, to be clear, we've never said in any of our ad reads, go make your next film with Claude AI. It's awesome. We've never said that. We're never going to say that. It's just a silly thing to try to conflate.
It is. I've been in this conversation too. I asked a filmmaker, like, just a legitimate question, just like, they were making a film, they were like working on a bunch of different stuff, and I was like, have you ever considered, or how have you considered using AI to create alternate content, or to really help support you in your marketing, to really push your stuff forward?
Support marketing. Great,
bro. Wait. The pushback on just the idea of touching AI was so remarkable to me. I mean, it was like I had committed a sin just by mentioning AI. I was like, I let them do their thing. I'm not going to fight that. If that's that's the way you roll, then that's fine. That's good for you, right? Stick to that. But it was so strong. The pushback was so strong. I was like, okay, well, sadly, if you're not willing to use this tool today, yeah, you're a little behind. You might not make it. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. It's like you gotta move from the broom to the vacuum. You know what I'm saying? Like you just
yeah. And you don't have to. You don't have to, but it's your choice. You know what I mean? Like it could take you a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You can still sweep. 100%, bro. You can still sweep. Like that's what I'm saying. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to fight that battle. It's not a battle for me to fight, right?
Yeah.
No. But I'm just saying they were very opinionated about.
This is a screenwriter who's handwriting the script. You know what I mean? Like more power to you. Papyrus. This is ancient technology. Let's go back to the old days.
Well, it's Nolan not using a cell phone or a computer, right? Like it's okay. Yeah, that works for Chris Nolan. There's one Chris Nolan. You can try it.
Everybody around him is using cell phones and computers.
Exactly. They're just letting him know, he's got a small fiefdom, like maybe following him around and keeping him up to date on everything. But like, here's the thing: like, if you go that route and you don't get the result that Chris Nolan got, did you fail? Like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't really add up. And there's also just this sort of moral confusion of, okay, if I use an AI tool to do a marketing campaign for a short film or for one of the boards I'm on or something like that, and then it turns out to be like, I'll still man everybody's case for them, right? And it turns out to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, in Terminator 1 or whatever. Like, why would that mean that I couldn't just like drop everything right there and then just join the rebel human army and fight the thing? Like, there's nothing stopping you from. It's really a yes and, like, two things can be true, and I just think
exactly two things can be true.
I think it's funny. So for everybody out there that's been asking that, it's not a contradiction at all. And no, we're not making films with AI, and we're not saying you should make films with AI. AI has a lot of uses, and learning to use it is not a bad idea either if you're interested in saving time and you're a multi-hyphenate like we are. Okay,
at risk of derailing the conversation a little bit, because I think the next version of the AI conversation is Neuralink. Are you guys familiar with the idea
of course.
Elon Musk has this brain mapping thing? And I, from what I understand, there's supposed to be like 35,000 people that are using this by like 2030 or something absolute absurd. So how do we feel about having the technology running inside of our brains? And is that as the ultimate kind of efficiency, where do you land? Are you into this or no?
No, dude.
You want this?
Yeah. Go ahead, PB. I got thoughts, but PB, go ahead.
No, I'm fine with it. It depends on. It depends on, obviously, on what we're saying the benefit is going to be. So I think it will benefit a lot of people, particularly those with maybe some kind of issue that needs to be resolved. But for the general public, probably not. But I'm excited about the technology.
Yeah, listen, Darryl. Like, this is the PB thing is the thing that's how they get you, right? Yeah. Which is this is going to benefit this small population of people, so we should move forward with it and make it happen. And it's all altruistic. And no, you're going to steal parts of my brain, and that's what social media does now, right? It's like it's already there. Yeah. Right, it's already there. There's already the drip of information. There's already FOMO. This stuff is already there, but requires you to take an action to a degree, because a lot of this stuff is already consuming your thoughts by having the microphone active all the time. Right. By crawling your searches, by crawling cookies across things. It's already crawling a lot of the things that you do. But that is you have to take an action in the world, in the digital world, to make that happen. And what they're saying is, forget all that stuff. Forget the cookies, guys. Let's make sure that your marketing is tailored to you, and we're going to make sure that we can connect directly to your brain so you don't get any ads that you don't want. It's like, it's all for you guys. No, you become the data point, right? So now what's happening is that they're farming you. That's the challenge, is that you're not just getting this benefit, but you become part of the machine. So the question is, if these things that are in your brain are able to pull information in, well,
and export.
How much? There you go.
And
Exactly. They can export. And how about, what if they're feeding you thoughts that you don't even realize you're having? So that's the thing.
Well, there are already patents from the Air Force on these things.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but now people are willingly, just like when you sign up for any social media platform or any app, we all just dismiss the EULA, right? Yeah. The end user licensing agreement. And when they say you have now given everything you post on social to the company to use in their marketing campaigns and their stuff, all of your art, all of the things that you do, you give them away. Now they're saying the same thing is going to be true for your thoughts. So that's the thing. So yeah, I think that more and more people will do it. I think people will see the benefits, and I think we will basically have human drones walking around with Neuralinks.
Yeah, Nick, it's far less 1984 and far more A Brave New World, where like the benefit will outweigh the risk and the con, and we will walk willingly into sort of maybe a prison of our own making a little bit, maybe
or
into
the belief
our own,
that the benefit outweighs the con.
Our belief of there, yeah. So we'll walk willingly into our own sort of padded dystopia, maybe velvet lined dystopia, and we'll all take our Soma pills and be happy with it. And the Air Force in 2020 was creating something where Air Force fighter pilots could wear helmets and then communicate in battle through thoughts, because that speed is such a decisive advantage in a air fight. And if they could do that and then do it without the helmet, I mean, come on.
Whatever, bro. I'm sorry. If I'm communicating with you and I got my helmet on and I'm thinking about something I shouldn't be thinking about, you'd be like, bro.
I know. It's dangerous. You gotta be. That's why I say it's about. We'll be closer than we've ever been.
Bro, don't.
We'll be closer than we've ever been.
But listen, exactly. But Chris, you gotta understand. Like, I don't know if Daril is like a Star Wars person, because I know Chris isn't a Star Wars guy.
Listening, Daril is a Star Wars guy.
Yeah. But all I gotta say is, execute Order 66. Just saying. I don't need anything in my brain. I love that
because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exactly. You gotta look it up. Execute Order 66. I don't need it.
Shout out to Joey Baggs. Birthday was last week. And I will quote him again, as I have many times on this show. Star Trek is for lovers. Okay?
Well, I mean,
that's all.
Hey,
Star Trek's for adults.
That's what you meant to say. No, you just said, guys, did you hear that? I'm going to put it back out there. Chris just said Star Trek is for lovers. He meant to say Star Trek is for adults and Star Wars is for children.
I meant to say both of them. Because Star Wars. Wait, did I say wars or Trek?
See?
He said Trek.
He said okay, good. Star Wars. To Joey Baggs, not me. Don't come after me. Joey Baggs says, okay, Star Wars people, not lovers, not adults. That's all. That's what his opinion. That's not my opinion.
I don't even
That's
know
his
what that
opinion.
means.
Find someone who can do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan, bro. I'm sorry. One of the best movies ever made.
But Daril, in all seriousness, here's what's going to happen. Potentially. So if you go to the pessimistic side of this, right?
Yeah.
You're competing in a world where everybody's using AI, okay? And AI may be using itself and teaching from and learning from itself and becoming something you can't compete against.
Yeah.
You're telling me that people in society won't put a Neuralink chip in their brain and become Neo from the Matrix so that they are the AI and now they have a purpose in life again? They have relevance again. They'll do that even if you're sucking stuff out of their brain, Nick, and taking all their little information, all their little nasty thoughts.
It's called the Borg. So if you're a Star Trek person, you know about the Borg, and that's what it is.
You don't think people are going to do that? I think people will do that. It's the Borg.
Yeah, 100%. I believe they will. It's not about whether or not I believe they will. It's about what I want, right? I'm not putting that thing in my brain if I have a choice. But will people do it? Heck, yes,
you have a choice.
Will.
Because I don't know if you would pick irrelevance over that, but that's what the main character of A Brave New World did. He's like, let me just have my woman, right? I believe in the book she was a well-endowed woman as well. So he's like, let me get my woman.
Like an Amazonian?
Like just like
like she's like Wonder Woman?
And then he's got his woman and he's living by himself and he just wants to be left alone, but they're not going to leave him alone. He's the last of they got to get him.
A dying breed. Yeah, I know. I get it. So
me and you would have to be the dude in the Brave New World. Like, shout out to Aldous Huxley for dropping... That was written in the 1920s, guys, if I'm not mistaken. Like, shout out to Aldous Huxley for like seeing the future and having like the 666 receipt and like, knowing Rick Rubin was going to write this book 4 or 5 decades ago. But you did segue, and unintentionally, you segued into something really, really key here, which is this idea of people... when you're talking about social media and like, oh, they can take my art and now they took it and used it in the marketing. I didn't read the EULA and now I kind of want to sue, or I want to like write a big post about this, or I want to complain about that or whatever. Let's just let the people know Mark Zuckerberg stole all my art and he's making money off of it, whatever. Well, this kind of happened with Obsession. Right? Shout out to Curry Barker, who we put in our newsletter 2 years ago, by the way. So shout out to us for being ahead of the game and for him for having such an incredible film. But there was someone in his crew, I think she was the art director, set director, Sally Choi, I think is how you say her name, CHOI. If I mispronounced it, I apologize. But she had some posts, and I think I can pull this up on the screen for you guys to see it. So this is the post right here. And it says, I've debated this for a long time. I've been holding a lot of weight over the past 2 years since the production of Obsession. So I'm going to say it as it is. Obsession was made for $750,000 and it's projected to make $250 million. How much I made, $300 a day as art director. And this came out to $6,741.36 after taxes. No mileage. Okay, she said she knew what she was going to get paid in advance. She understood all that stuff, and it keeps going. I'm going to bring up it's a long post, but for those listening, if you come over to YouTube, you'll be able to see this on the screen. Just a good reason to come over to YouTube, subscribe, just saying. Anyway, so she just keeps going, saying, I kick myself every day for not flipping this production. I was encouraged not to, and I naively listened. You were naive? You naively listened? Listen, this is not good. Okay? This is not good. This is a problem. Okay? Like you signed up to do a low budget horror film from an unknown, unproven director writer. And investors in that movie took an incredible risk. I cannot count, if I had a million hands, the number of films with the same budget that did nothing financially. It's an enormous risk. And the fact that the movie took off, you should be so proud of it. It took off in part to your art direction. Do you think you're ever going to make $6,700 ever again?
Maybe.
No,
there you go. Like, that's it, Darryl.
Yeah.
Like,
but
come on.
This is tough. Look, I think the underlying feeling that she has, I think we should all feel, but that's a systematic issue, not a obsession film issue.
Yeah.
I personally believe that when you work on a movie, you should have a piece of the upside. Technology does this, but like our industry is so back-asswards because we don't economically incentivize people to run in the same direction. Tech, if you're at my tech company and you are an assistant, you're going to get equity in the company because I want you to have ownership and to make the best freaking company that you can. And I think there's a real economic misalignment in our industry, and it's a huge problem. And to that piece that she is speaking about, I say amen. That is up. It's up that we can go out and make a bunch of money. I don't think we all understand the economics of how that money flows, and we probably have a lot of assumptions baked into what everybody's making. But at the end of the day, yes, I think that the crew should participate. But that isn't the reality of where we're at. That is not a problem of obsession. And as a guy who's made a bunch of low budget shit and worked literally for free for movies, I understand. But that's also the deal that you made consciously as an adult. You made the choice. And I think complaining and it's a hard thing. And again, we've all been burned. We've all been in this industry long enough to have not gotten what was owed to us. But I don't think that complaining publicly does anything for you. And I don't think it helps you. You could have been the person who was walking around going, I just did Obsession as an art director. I know what I'm doing. This is my career path. I knew I was great from the beginning, even though I was taking this small stuff, and now I'm going to be able to ask for more. And I think, unfortunately, you have created an energy that is going to make people think twice before hiring you. And that's unfortunate because I'm sure that the art direction was amazing. You should be owning it. You deserve all of the praise. And 100%. Systematically, I would say we should live in a system that financially incentivizes everyone from the PA up to run in the same direction. But that's just not the reality. Sorry, I felt like I cut you off, Chris. I apologize.
No, you didn't. You're good. Because, I might say too much. Nick knows, I might go too far. What I put on social media about this was just you can't change the business model once it no longer works for what you wanted. The business model was set in advance, and now you want to change the contract. You want to change the way it works. Well, guess what? If that happened throughout the industry, what would happen to all our unions? Right? How would they even exist? If so I think, in our business, everything is a contract, and you can write but hopefully you get on the next thing that Curry Barker does, right? And then he writes a contract that does some profit sharing, right? But in the movie business, basically, for those who don't know, the producers put up the risk and the time, the investors put up the financial risk, and if the movie doesn't do anything, they basically did what Daril said, was a work for free and lose all their money. Yeah. And as a reward to keep that system going, which basically allows for movies to be made, right? To keep that going, the rewards have to be enormous, right? The possibility of 100xing your money has to exist for those people to get out of bed and be excited about a film, because you're not competing as an investor. You're not competing against another film. You're competing against the next app or the next piece of technology. Do I put my money in this film, or do I put it in SpaceX? Do I put it in, where do I go with, so I think there's this idea that some other movie will just get the money. No, no film will get the money. And so there has to be a possibility to hit a home run, and then we can't re-adjudicate the business model when it doesn't work for us, right? And I just felt man, this is such bad mojo. Anyway, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my approach to this, if I had seen it on social and I was active like that, I'd be DMing her. And
really,
I would send the DM and be hey, listen, we all feel your pain, but we understand that, right? But take this down. because
Yeah.
because this isn't helping you. Like, this is hurting you. This is the conversation that you have in the quiet spaces, right? You have this with your friends and your family or some other filmmakers, and you talk about it and you preach to the choir maybe a little bit, and we're all in our feels about it. And maybe we, you get together and you come up with a better way. Maybe there's conversations about ways to make this work going forward, or ideas you have about the next film that you get on. You'll ask for something on the back end or do something on the weight of this film.
Mm-hmm.
But putting it out the way that you did is not helping you. And because you did this, people are going to talk about you. People like the folks that Make It podcast. We're going to put your name out there and we're going to talk about it. And now people are going to know your name in a light that you don't want. Right. So it's not that you're wrong.
I do think. Oh, yeah.
It's just no. I'm just saying it's just the way and the way you said it and the platform you're using. Go ahead, Daril.
No. I was going to say, I think what you said that kind of resonated with me was, I think that it is an important, because look, in some ways I go, that's brave, to make that kind of statement out loud, that's brave. But I think the bravery has to be in framing it and saying, hey, I've identified a problem within our industry that we need to solve. Not, I wish I'd have flipped this.
Exactly.
There's a, sorry if the language is a problem. You can blame me.
We're all adults. It's all good.
I think but to me, I'm like, hey, look, I agree, and to go back to Zendaya, I forget what the movie was, but she did this early on with Malcolm and Marie, I think it was, where everybody on that crew had some back end and they all got to win together. And it was a significant win for that crew. If I look at what they're doing at Artist Equity, that's another, people are trying to solve this problem. And I do think it's important to talk about. And also, I've been emotional and said some stupid shit publicly before, that maybe even was true what I was saying, but probably was not the best format for me to say it and the best place for me to say it. And I feel like energetically, if we live in that kind of revenge fantasy of, I wish that I had flipped this thing, I don't think that's good for you. I don't think that's good for your career. And I think it unfortunately, it diverts the conversation away from what we should be talking about, which is the structural inequity that is built into film and television that allows people to work their freaking asses off and get paid nothing and see no benefit, no economic benefit. And we're just supposed to be lucky that we were able to work for X company or on X film. And I think that's the more important conversation that's getting missed in all of this. And deep in my heart, I wish that someone would be so philanthropic as to just give people stuff when there's not a contract, but that's not the reality of any capitalistic society. Chris, it's true that this industry, this industry runs on contracts. That's every industry, right? This is the business part of film and television and the entertainment industry that we don't talk about enough. And by the way, I really hope we as a group do sit down and say, hey, this is f***ed up and we need to change it. Why can't we reserve 1 or 2 points on the back end for the army of people that are slaving away to make this thing happen? And I don't think that makes our industry, that doesn't make a movie unfinanceable. That isn't an impossible obstacle to overcome.
Nope.
And that's the conversation I think we really need.
It's just they don't do it. That's it. Yeah. That's the obstacle. They just don't do it. Think about it. If they just did it, 1 to 2%, put it in the contract. They just don't think about it. The person that we're talking about probably didn't even think about it. Now they're mad. Now they're salty. It's if you thought about it, and they'd be like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's not going to hurt us, because if we don't make anything, you don't get anything, right? If we do get a bunch of stuff, then what you're going to get is good. It's it's not going to, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Well, also, we just need to find out, Daril, and Papa Bear, maybe you can look this up on the side, but we need to find out, was it a DGA shoot?
Oh, yeah.
And was it a SAG shoot?
Yeah.
Because in those cases, guys, those unions run the contracts.
Yeah.
You can't violate them. You get fined. You can't operate. You can't, I know what you're saying, Nick, if it were a non-DGA or non-SAG shoot, then just write the contract as you want. If you shot it in a right to work state or something like that. But if that's not the case, you can't just write any contract you want. Like it's a little bit more as a crew member in IATSE, which is also a union. Like you can't just do that. I mean, you can try, I guess. I just like it's a little bit more complex than that.
I do think you can. Like, I think, Malcolm and Marie, they did that. I think that's a great example of a film that was very successful that did that. But, and there were, back in the day, but pre-technology, there were a lot of barriers to paying out these micro payments to everyone, right? Mm-hmm. But I look at, great CAMAs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a CAMA, but this is like a collection account management system, and like Film Chain is a good example of this. They can make micro payments to individuals. They can put 250 people into their system and make tiny little micro payments. And for this collection account management system is often required for many films anyway. And so, like, I think there were a billion reasons why that wouldn't work in the past, and technology is solving a lot of that, but we're not evolving. Our industry and the processes of our industry are not evolving as rapidly as the reality that we live in. And that's, again, part of the reason that I started Kino.
But Kino can do some of that, right? Like Kino's taking a different approach as well.
Yeah. Like my goal is for us to work on projects and have everyone economically incentivized to run in the same direction. I want my grip and my gaffer to have back end, because they're going to then put that extra effort in. And look, if we don't do what Undertone did and do 20x domestic, and by the way, I love that the conversation in any other year, a $500,000 movie doing $20 million would be all we're talking about.
Right.
And this year, it's not even a drop in the bucket because of Obsession. And I'm so grateful for that. This is the shot in the arm that indie film needed. But like, I think we need to look at this structurally, and unions need to get involved and start thinking about this. But it's not just on others. I think it's for those who are making independent films. You want a recipe for greatness, you let everyone have skin in the game. That's the recipe. It won't matter. No one's going to slack off like they will if they're not, I really think that we need to think about this like every other industry, like the technology industries that are kicking our ass right now and taking over Hollywood, and saying, okay, what are the things that actually work from this structure that we can take? And I think will economically benefit all of us.
Yeah, that's the key for me, though, Chris, is that, Daril just said we have to think about this. So that's the problem. Forget the technology. If you didn't think about it, then you know what I'm saying? Then the technology doesn't matter. I think that that's what's happening. I think that there's people
did she think about asking? Did she ask for more?
That's what I'm saying. That no one thinks about it this way, right? It's either you're thinking about making the art, or you're thinking about a day rate. Like, they're not thinking about equity, because you know why you don't think about equity? Because equity and art don't go together.
Yeah. Well, they do with Kino, but that's
what I'm saying. It's like, there it is.
It's a great
you got to start thinking that way.
The way we did it, back in the day before, I'm willing to say too, like, the technology, right, is there, Daril, but like, you could always work around it.
Yeah.
Meaning, okay, so I'll just give a real world example from me and Nick's experience. Like, okay, the editor wants back end, the DP wants back end. You just make them producers.
Yes.
It's not that complicated in that regard, but you also have to be thinking about, do I want my DP and editor to have a piece? Do they want a piece? Do they ask for a piece? What are we expecting this to do? And if so, okay, cool. We'll make you a producer on the film. And sometimes you leave those slots open for all kinds of stuff. We have a film that got distributed where that person's production logo is the first thing you see on the movie, and they didn't spend one day on set. They didn't do anything in the movie except get us the distribution deal. Yeah. And that, I've learned, is valuable. Like, that was enough to get that logo on there, and I'm fine with that. Okay, cool. Your logo's on there. You didn't have anything to do with this movie. You know that. We know that. But as far as it goes, I mean, like, people are able to see the movie because you helped us out and create a bridge between distributor and filmmaker for us, right? So what I mean by like the contract thing is you can ask for whatever you want. That's the cool thing about the movie business. You can, if you have the right lawyer, if you have the right representation, if you have friends at your union, if you just think of it like Nick said, like think of it, you can ask for it and you might get it. But once it's done, I feel like the person I talked to that I told you about earlier in the conversation that said, if you were talented, you'd be famous already, whatever. I feel like she had some of those people in her family. They were like, this movie's blowing up. You still broke. And then she got all salty because somebody else is in her business that's actually jealous of her and put her up to make that post. And said, you should do it, girl. You should do it.
Neuralink. Yes, great callback, Nick.
Yeah. Voice in your head.
Thoughts in, thoughts out, dude.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to say I didn't love it, and it's not great, but I do love, to your point, Darryl, like what's happening in indie film. And I think a lot of these publications are getting it a little bit wrong. Like they're talking about, hey, people want story, so Iron Lung and Backrooms and Obsession and in the future here Undertone, they're all doing great at the box office because people are tired of the algorithm. They're tired of the Netflix something's got to happen in the first 2 minutes algorithm, and you got to repeat the dumb line because you're competing against a second screen algorithm. They're tired of Marvel. It's not that.
Yeah.
The big movies have done great as well. Michael did great. Project Hail Mary did great.
So
like
good.
These other movies are going to do great. Here's what it is, guys. Audience. It's not algorithm. It's audience. All three, Markiplier, shout out to you, Markiplier, Curry, Barker, and Kane Parsons all had a built-in audience that followed them to the theater. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And so if you're in 2026 as an actor, as a director, any of those, anyone's going to show up on screen or looking for it, like anybody that's influencing the marketing of a film, if you're in 2026 and still complaining that social media following is a evil KPI, is an evil key performance indicator, you got to stop. It's over, guys, because these three films just proved that it's true. These are valuable key performance indicators. You need to give up on your fear and go out there and show people your talent and get the following, because when you have that following, not only would you get jobs, but you will probably bring dollars to your bank account on the way. Just simple as that.
And I'm going to say this. Wait. And I'm going to add to that. I'm like, and make a horror film. I'm sorry. Like right now, because right now, I'm just telling you, like there was a day, I mean, we know that low budget horror films are the way to go if you want to make some money, period. If you just want to make some money, not if you want a 20X, but if you want to make some money, right? Because you didn't spend a lot, you can get a lot, because horror film lovers are voracious, right?
Insatiable.
They will eat this stuff up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now if you do something that actually gets beyond a horror film lover and you have a greater audience beyond them that likes it, then you'll do even better. That we've known that for a long time. But I will tell you, horror in 2026 is what comedy was in 2000. It's the new comedy. Like it was all comedies back then, man. Like that's what we watched. We always watched comedies, and we wanted more of it. Now we even asked our audience, "What do you want?" And they said horror. That is actually what people want now. So now, if you do it well, you're not just reaching the horror audience, but you're reaching the broader audience, because the broader audience has been introduced to horror in a new way. So it doesn't always have to be gore. It can just be scary, right? It doesn't just have to be scary. It can be thoughtful, right? It doesn't have to be thoughtful. It can be one of those things that's historical, like Sinners, right? There's so many different ways to use the genre. and that's what's attracting people now.
Weapons,
so I think
Weapons last year.
Yeah, exactly. There's this use the genre
Very
in new
funny,
ways because people want the genre. You know what I'm saying? They do. Yeah. So if you do something really well in that space, then you can do really well. So yeah, horror's the way to go.
Yep. And this sort of auteur horror, I want to give props to Jordan Peele for that. He really
everybody's got to give it to him.
Auteur horror.
You got to give it to him.
That's the jam. Okay, guys, are we ready?
Yes.
For the reason everyone showed up. Papa Bear's things we should know.
Yeah,
the number one.
So, PB, the stage is yours, sir.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we've been dancing around the notion of box office and blockbusters, and you talked about Obsession. You know, it had a overwhelming day this week, in that it was on its 25th day. It still made $4.1 million. That just blows your minds. That outdid The Force Awakens.
Should we give him a horn, PB? Should we give him DJ Phil a horn? All right. There we go. All right.
Outdid Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man, No Way Home. So on their 25th day. And so box office is going to be big this summer. And so I want to ask, what actor had 3 movies open at number 1 at the domestic box office?
Okay.
In 1 year.
Do we need to name the year as well, PB?
You can.
Okay, so not a prerequisite, Daril. We don't have to say the year, but there's an actor that had 3 movies. All 3 movies opened up at number 1 in the box office, all in 1 year. Correct?
Yes, and do you know the films? We can add that on there.
Oh shit! Now we're
It feels like it has to be a Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt type person, and it feels like you could have something like what year did Meet Joe Black come out? Or something like that would be like, there's going to be 2 obvious films is what I'm saying, and then one of the films is going to be less obvious, like a Meet Joe Black for Brad Pitt, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, that came out the same, like, or Benjamin Button, like you'll be like, okay, here's 2 blockbusters, and then Benjamin Button. It's going to be something like that.
Wait, say it again for me. That it was number 1 during what period of time? The same week?
It opened at number 1 at the domestic box office. 3, an actor with 3 films in the same year that opened number 1 at the box office.
Same week, Nick.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you like? That was great. All right, so it's Jonathan Majors.
So you're going Jonathan Majors?
Jonathan Majors.
I'm going Russell Crowe.
Okay.
I'm going Harrison Ford. I'm going old school.
Okay. Those are
great guesses.
That's a great
I'm going to let you in on a little secret about this. It's kind of a trick question because 2 actors have attained this achievement.
Wow.
And neither of them are ones you called off or who did that.
Yeah, so listen, so Jonathan Majors, I could have sworn that he did 2, but not, the third one, he was in 3 movies in a year, but the third movie I know really didn't hit, but that's all I could think of. So Jonathan Majors did Creed 3 and Ant-Man Quantumania in the same year. And the third one was like I think it was like an Air Force movie.
Thinking, Nick.
But I didn't think that would have hit number 1.
Jonathan Majors.
Well, that's why. Because so those 2 movies, Creed 3 and Ant-Man Quantumania.
Nick knows Papa Bear so well at this point with this freaking segment. He knows that it's a trick, and he knows that the actor is going to be a supporting actor. or a tertiary actor that just happens to be in the big movies. Like a Jonathan May. I kept thinking, why would he say Jonathan and not Denzel?
But listen,
why would he say Jonathan and not Forrest Whitaker? Why would he? Why wouldn't he say Tyler Perry even?
Because when I saw those 3 movies, he was in 3 movies the same flipping time. It's like not even just in the same year,
This is why you make the big bucks, Nick. This is why you're a genius.
But not even just in the same year. They were in the theater at the same time, and I was like, "This is crazy." I've never seen that. So I get it, because the third one, that Air Force movie, would not have hit number 1, but that's the only one that I could think of. Now, Harrison Ford is a great one.
We also haven't guessed a woman. Like,
but Darryl, what was
Julia
your question?
Roberts?
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I was thinking, like, I think it's probably initially I'm like, oh, it's a number 1, so it's going to be action,
right? It's a
kind of
lead
thing.
guy.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking, like, is this like a is it a comedy? Because, like, if this is the 90s, right? Like,
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, these guys are putting up funny movies.
Stifler, really, bro?
Stifler?
No, he did one movie at the time. Like he was in Old Boy or whatever it's called. Yeah, like, he wasn't doing 3. But yes, Ben Stiller, Jim Carrey. That's totally on point. Oh, Will Ferrell. That's another one right there. Will Ferrell's
another one. He just had a little cameo in Wedding Crashers, right?
Oh, that's interesting too.
Mom the Meatloaf.
Yeah, they were doing multiple movies at the same time. His name
in that movie was Chaz, Darryl. He played a guy named Chaz who was still living with his
Chaz
mom
in the 90s, I'll tell you that much.
And he had started crashing to get girls.
Which is I don't know. Tyler Perry.
Oh, I heard. I said Tyler Perry because of the Medea.
I know, but number one where? In the Walmart box?
Oh, shit.
All right. So,
red box.
all right, PB. Get us the answer before you get off the air.
I think I'm going to have to give the prize, however, to Darryl. The first year we're talking about is 1994.
Okay.
90s.
And Jim Carrey had 3 films.
Shout out to Jim Carrey.
Detective. The Mask.
So mad.
Dumb and Dumber.
I mean, I said 18 names, but that's the one I'm going to claim.
You're the only one who said it. You're the only one who said it.
Why did that clap again? I have no idea why that clapped again.
Dumb and Dumber. You're going to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Wait, what's the third one? So it's The Mask, Dumb and Dumber, and
Ace? Is that what you said?
Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Bro, can you imagine they came out in the same year? That's crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the horror. But that was the horror of those days. I'm saying, like, make these movies, churn them out. We wanted
about comedy. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great point.
The other person that has achieved this is more recent, and I'm really surprised we haven't gotten this one.
Wait, is that 50 Cent son Maurice?
More recent, yeah.
Shout out to Maurice Cent.
Yes.
Do you have a a sound effect?
I got one that's close enough. I mean, if you really want it, you know what I'm saying? I'll get it. Hit it. Oh, you mother. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so
I don't know how I do it, guys. I don't know how I do it.
Yeah.
In 2025,
wow,
3 films out, 1 actor. Lead, How to Train Your Dragon, Black Phone 2, Regretting You.
Ethan
That's
Hawke.
Mason Timms.
Mason Timms.
Yeah, it wasn't Ethan, bro.
That's crazy.
Mason, shout out to Mason Timms.
That's awesome.
Holy moly.
Dude.
And I wouldn't have guessed that Black Phone 2 was number 1. But I didn't know Black Phone 2 made it to number 1. I didn't know it either.
It was number 1 in the box office.
Man,
that year.
Wow. I like Black Phone 1 better, just
opening.
But so that's why I was biased thinking Black Phone 2 couldn't have been number 1, but it probably was because on the strength of Black Phone 1. Yeah, and I mean, that's crazy. Wow. How do you spell his last name, PB?
Oh, Thames. It's like the River Thames.
Oh, yes.
in London.
Yeah. I love it. Wait, isn't that the same river that Achilles got dipped in? No, that's the river Styx. Okay, so did they dip Achilles in there, and then the only thing that was vulnerable was his ankle?
He got shot in the ankle.
His whole body in there, and they held his heel, and that's why when he got shot in the ankle, he died.
In the ankle, he died. Right, exactly, because that was the only part that didn't get dipped.
His mom Thetis dipped him in the river Styx to make him immortal.
And just he said Thetis, not fetus. It's very easy to.
His mom Fetus. Papa Bear, you did it again. This is definitely a thing we should know.
That's right.
And
it's a great callback,
go to your next cocktail party and blow people away.
Yeah,
that's right. And listen,
does anybody ever get these?
What we were saying.
Does anybody ever get them? I don't think so.
Yes, they do. But they're close. There's some.
It's rare. When somebody gets it, like, we're really happy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's rare. So you are one of the chosen few, my friend. 666 and all the things.
I feel like I said like so many names. It feels like a half win. Like I really wanted to be
bro. You got a clean win. I get it. No. Listen. You didn't just say the names, and that's what we like about this is that there's a thought process. Because like I said, this Things We Should Know is a great callback to what I said earlier about horror and comedy. And the fact that you were churning this stuff out and people who were great at it, like Jim Carrey, come on,
First one was comedy, second one's horror.
Yeah, and he was great at it. I mean, think about it. I'm sure way back in the day, it didn't hit number one, but Steve Martin had to have been churning out films. That
Woody
whole
Allen.
Saturday Night Live crew had to be just putting stuff out. Thank you. Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. So, Darryl,
tale of the times.
You did it. You got it.
Well done, Papa Bear.
Yeah,
that was great. And now,
solid,
Darryl. After we've tortured you with that trivia, it's time to bring this thing home with Clear the Set. Are you ready?
Oh, you have your finger on the button.
Why did that play? I swear to God, something weird is going on with Riverside. That's the second time media has played.
Abazoo.
This 666 thing is freaking me out. I touched
holy
nothing.
Water.
That's the second time I've touched nothing. And the sound plays. Okay. My bad to the audience. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Are you ready, Darryl?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. What are your top 3 films?
Oof. This is a tough one. I think the first one for me has to be The Matrix. If you guys know my story, I grew up not being allowed to watch movies. The Matrix literally changed my life. I cannot shy away from The Matrix. It's so freaking good. I would say Raiders of the Lost Ark. When it comes to adventure movies, and again, call back to my first thesis, Harrison Ford. I think Indiana Jones holds up. Like you watch that because I had no reference of when things were made, obviously, as I was watching shit, and I thought that movie was so much more recent than it actually was when I first watched it. Incredible film.
Agreed.
Oh, and then a third one. This is tough because I feel like I'm going to be judged so harshly by this choice. And I feel like there should be a comedy because I watch and love so many comedy films. But if I think about the things that were very impactful to me, I'd say probably Gladiator, actually. Russell Crowe's Gladiator, because I in that first week of cinema where I was just watching films I wasn't allowed to watch growing up, so I just started consuming. I had never seen a tragic film. We watched so many movies and the hero's always, hero always won. And then we watched Gladiator and I was brought to tears and I was like, what the did they just do to me? This is heartbreaking in the best possible way. So I think probably Gladiator stands up out there for me.
Darryl, I gotta say,
the first time we've gotten Gladiator.
Yeah, it is. When he found his family, when he found his family, bro.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Honestly, it still sticks with me to this day. Yeah, it's like,
oh shit. Nick's crying for those listening. Nick is starting to get verklempt. Papa Bear, isn't Raiders of the Lost Ark your favorite movie of all time?
It's one of them. I wouldn't say it's favorite of all time.
Which one is it? Is it Imitation of Life?
No.
There's one I'm forgetting that's obvious.
There's one, and it's hard to say.
Oh, Deer Hunter.
Favorite because its impact. Deer Hunter impacted me like, 3 days I had that in my head.
Yeah. Great film.
Yeah, Deer Hunter will get you, especially that last 20 minutes. That will really destroy your life. Congratulations to Chris Walken and De Niro for being in The Deer Hunter and destroying my father's life. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great movie. And it's a movie that if you watch it, you can't do an act one like that again.
Yeah.
You'll never get an act one like that again, like you got in The Deer Hunter. Shout out to The Deer Hunter.
And it's one you really only watch once.
Yeah, man. And listen, Russell Crowe is such a good actor that I just saw him in Nuremberg last year.
Dude, he crushed in Nuremberg.
He was so good in it that I forgot that the guy he was playing was skinny as a rail. like the dude he was actually portraying, I found out, was like bone skinny.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe's over there looking like he just finished a rack of lambs. I'm like, but you are acting your ass off, bro. I don't even care that you didn't even try to transform for this role. You are carrying this film, sir.
Yeah.
Right? It was fantastic. Okay, second question. Name the film, Daril, that you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
Oh, that's tough. Listen, because of my weird upbringing, there's so many great films that I haven't seen. So I probably should be, but I was recently embarrassed by my fiance, this is such a funny one.
Welcome to my world. Recently embarrassed.
Because she found out that I hadn't seen High School Musical, and this is her favorite film, and not on my radar. I'm sorry.
Face.
So I was recently embarrassed, though, because I had played it off early in our relationship, like I had seen it, which is my MO. You mention something, I don't know what it is, I'm Googling it, and I'll add it to my watch list.
Do you realize, Daril, you're the first person to actually call out the spirit of the question that, because we asked this question on Clear the Set, and that was the spirit of the question when I wrote it, was that there are times where we get in this Larry David moment where we just have to lie. It's better to tell the white lie. Like, yeah, I saw Schindler's List. Of course, I've seen Schindler's List, right? And then somebody catches you that you haven't seen it, and now you're embarrassed that you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So I thank you for calling that out. You have to lie to your fiance about High School Musical if it's her favorite movie.
Well, it wasn't a lie.
You got to try to watch it.
Didn't tell her. I didn't know the reference.
Yeah,
it's a lie of omission, which I think is still a lie.
You're right. But you'll make up for it, and you all will enjoy the movie together. So
I love shit like that. That makes Daril a real person to me. You know what I mean? Okay. Name the film everyone loves that you hate.
Ooh. This is tough because I love much more cinema than I should, right? Like I love bad movies even. I think it's part of
he was denied Papa Bear, that's why.
Yeah. But I think a film that I felt was I felt like the overrated films, and maybe this isn't fair because man, I don't want to create hate.
Yeah, look, listen. Hate is my word, not yours. Hate is my word, not yours. You can just leave it at overrated or overliked.
Yeah. The movie, I really feel like Star Wars episodes 1 through 3 were so, and I love Star Wars. I thought they were so overhyped. People were stoked out of their mind for Phantom Menace, and when I watched it, I was like, nah.
No, you're spot on. Like that's the thing. Like there's stans and there's fans and then there's viewers, right? The stans are all in because it's Star Wars, right? The fans are like, I mean, you tried, and there's certain things that came out of them, like Darth Maul, that we love, but it just didn't do what we thought it was going to do, and they overdid a lot of other stuff, right? The environment.
Was that where we were introduced to Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks, yeah.
Listen, that was excluded. I forgot about Jar Jar. That's objectively a bad choice.
right. Misa.
Yeah.
and look, you get what they were trying to do, because one of the things that you have to understand, about indigenous peoples is that they had their own dialects that don't necessarily sound as curated as the dialects that we get, right? So they were trying to do
Esperanto,
Pidgin English and all this type of stuff, but they did it in such a farcical way that it was like, you are kidding me with this guy. Like, he's ridiculous. He's fumbling all over himself. And like, somehow he's going to win the day because he tripped over himself and shot 3 stormtroopers in the brain. It's like, come on, man. Like, stop with that. So, dude, I'm with you.
Were these also the alone. Christian, what's his name, Daril? Christian
Hayden Christensen. What's his name?
Were these in these Hayden Christensen? Were these those episodes as well, guys?
Yes.
It was.
Oh, the whole thing just is so...
And the little Anakin that we all were like, he never should have been Anakin because, dude, he couldn't act. So,
Also, the age gap between him and his future love interest. Come on.
Yeah. We didn't love it. We didn't love it then.
Epstein had some influence on those first 3 episodes. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah, you're like, bruh, come on, man, bruh. So I'm with you, and you're spot on, dude. I'm with you. It's like I said, you don't have to be alone on that one. You're not going to get haters because
Nick's jumping in with you.
Okay,
he's joining arms with you on that one.
Down.
All right, last one, Daril.
All right,
what is your favorite cheat day meal?
Oh, I love this.
What are you eating?
I love savory over sweet for the most part, so I'm usually a savory. And I love pasta. Like, I will eat the shit out of pasta. It is so I think if I can go and like there's specifically these raviolis that I had while I was in France, which is not the place to go get pasta, by the way. But it was like squid ink seafood stuffed. I couldn't pronounce it because it was obviously in French, but I had it in Cannes this year, and I was like, I would eat this every day 1,000 times over, anytime I could. Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the restaurant you had it in France?
Let's see. I don't actually, but it was on. If you know Cannes, I don't know if you've ever been to the festival. By the way, best festival. Old Town. There's like that road that goes up, and there were multiple restaurants that I ate at there that I do remember. But it was on that. It was on that Old Town strip.
Squid ink pasta,
raviolis with the seafood. By the way, producer Papa Bear and myself, Nick, I don't know if you were there last year, or if you were in like Paris proper, but a couple years ago, me and Papa Bear were in the south of France together, and everyone should go. It's like stay off the buses. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's a little bus hustle they have going on there with the police, but outside of that, just it's choice. Oh, and the beaches are rock beaches. That's not great, but outside of that, the food, just the vibe, you're just going to have a great time, and apparently you're going to have incredible squid ink pasta, raviolis as well. Daril, you have done it, and that brings us to a close on Clear the Set. Man. You've cleared it, and now there's nothing left to do for you but leave you with the question we leave every guest with as we wrap up these episodes, and that is, what does it mean? And this is, by the way, I should just preface this means so much more for you this year and what you've accomplished over the last 6 to 12 months. Yeah. What does it mean to have made it, maybe?
Let's just say what does it mean to make it?
Okay, there you go. Nick has said it. What does it mean to make it?
I think what it means to make it for me is to be able to see my name in the credits and my company's logo opening. That I cried, you know what I mean? And if you can't tell, I'm a very emotional person, so that's not saying much, but man, I feel like for this film specifically, when we were in the Library Theater in Sundance and the Kino logo popped up on the screen and people started cheering, I was like, oh shit, but we made it. So I think that's what it means to make it.
Man, you
Awesome.
got me over here with goosebumps.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I got goosebumps on my arm right now. I don't know if you see this on camera. Oh my God.
You know?
Like, I'm over here getting chill because I'm just visualizing what that must have felt like for you. I'm an emotional guy too. I cried at Oppenheimer. Like I did. I'm not even kidding. I cried at Oppenheimer. Don't go see Hamnet. If you're a crier, avoid Hamnet at all costs. But that is beautiful. Can you tell everybody again where they can go see Undertone, where they can support Kino, where they can find you on the internet?
Yeah, so it's on transactional right now. So if you're renting on Apple, Amazon, and then today, when this podcast released, the 26th of June, it is now on HBO. So go watch it on HBO. You can follow me and my crazy journey at Daril Fannin on socials, and our company's socials at Kino Makes Movies.
Do what the man says. Go follow him on Kino. We're going to cheer for him one more time here. You know what I'm saying? Show him some love. Go follow him on social. Go watch the film. Go rent it. Go buy it. Do what we always say. Indies should support indies.
Yeah.
You know, like put your money where your mouth is. Go spend some money. That money will find its way back to you threefold. I promise you that. And then when it's out on HBO today, make sure you go watch it on HBO if you have that subscription. If you don't, maybe you subscribe and then just, do what the kids do and just unsubscribe tomorrow, right? Just go watch it. Boom, I'm done. I don't like anything else. I'm not going to stay there for Bill Maher. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull out there. You know what I'm saying? Just pull out, Nick. You know about that. You just pull. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gone. No money, no loss, no problem.
That Neuralink would come in handy just now.
Yeah, exactly. For us, if you want to find us, you can find us. It's easy. We're on Instagram, TikTok. We are on Facebook. We are on X. We are on YouTube. We're everywhere. _Make It Podcast, or just search for the Make It Podcast. We will come right up. One cool thing that we're still able to do, and we're really proud of, is respond to 100% of DMs and comments. It is starting to get a little overwhelming, to be honest. Like now it's happening a lot. And I'm out there, Nick's out there, Papa Bear's out there, intern Miguel, shout out to you. We're all out there just trying to respond and do our thing for you, to let you know we're real people in a world full of fake stuff, that we're real people responding to you. And right now I've been in like this super generous mood, Nick. Like people that comment, people who are like first commenters on YouTube, people who are first commenters on posts, I'm just like sending them stuff. I'm like, hey, DM me your address. I'm just going to send you a gift. It'll be a surprise package in the mail for you. Okay. So engage with us, as Nick says. Subscribe, like, share, and leave us a 5-star review if you're on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. It makes a huge difference. If you have 30 extra seconds, type some stuff up. Say how much you love the show. It really helps us with discoverability. So with that, Nick, can you please leave us with the credo?
A butt of cows. But I have to say to my man Daril, dude, this is awesome. It's good to see you again, brother. This is the second time around. We'll do a third and a fourth and a fifth round. We'll keep doing it because we appreciate you. We love the fact that you are continuing on this independent journey, that you are a speaker box for the independent film community, that you've had the success in your life that I know will seriously be a springboard to the success for you and for others. Like that's a guarantee. Like, I know that about you. So thank you for joining us once again, my friend, and to our filmmaking friends, fans, family, and followers out there. Be better, be creative, be engaged.
And thank you for listening. Papa Bear, Nick, Daril, talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks,
for sure.
Guys.
All right, boys.
All right, guys.
Take care. This was fun.
Peace.
Yep. Peace.
Laters.
Peace.